Hello Darts Nutz, welcome to Darts Review channel. In this video I'm going to be checking out the Cuesoul Jiho, I think that's how you say it. This is the S1 model. There's 8 models in the range, S1 to S8. They're available in steel and soft tip, so let's check them out. So as mentioned, I'm reviewing the S1 model, and there's 8 models in the range for both soft and steel tip. The 90% tungsten. The ones I'm reviewing are only available in 22 gram, but you can get custom weights. What that means is if you want to get another weight, just contact Cuesoul, and I think it's around about £22 extra on the price. Soft tip are 18 and 20 gram, but again you can have other weights if you want. Retail price £49. So the darts come in this quite chunky cardboard packaging. A little hole there, so you push that, and the darts are in this tray which has got an interesting plastic covering which I've not seen before. Like a little lid on the top of the darts. I suppose it's keeping it nice and tight in position so it doesn't fall out. And the darts come fitted with the Rost T19 all-in-one stems and flights, and you also get a little point sharpener. Darts fit with a black coated point, and I would say it's pretty much a straight barrel dart. It's just got a taper at the front and maybe a slight taper on the rear, but it's got a nice deep black titanium coating on, and as you can see some of the grooves are painted red and blue, but it's got an interesting grip cut into the barrel. Obviously, as you can see, you've got ring and groove on the nose, so if you like to grip right on the nose, then you got a nice bit of grip there. But then the rest of the barrel is made of these painted ring and grooves, and then you've got these kind of like wide sections that have got these oval cutouts, but in between that you've got a very fine ring and groove, so there's little bits of grip all the way along. I think most of the grip is probably coming from the rings, though I'm not really sure if these kind of like oval cutouts are giving a great deal of grip, because when you try holding it there, the first thing you feel is the ring and the grooves, so I can't really say I'm feeling those sections much, so maybe they're more for aesthetics, but it does look quite nice. And I think probably because of the style of the dart, it's probably going to work whether you're front mid or rear gripper, because there's little bits of grip all the way along, so it may just depend on how it sits in your fingers. But even on the very rear you've got some grip, so if you like to grip right at the end of the barrel, then you're okay there. But I tend to like to grip close to the nose, but I'm not always a fan of a taper, so I'm probably going to be gripping it around there. But for me it's still okay. There's a little bit of grip there, but obviously with them painted grooves, probably less grip than there is on that section there, but you can always remove the paint if you don't like it. But that coating is a nice deep black colour, so it's nice to see that. Sometimes they often look kind of like charcoaly grey, and it's fitted nicely with the black Rost T19s and the clear stems, so as a setup it looks rather nice. So the dart's got a tapered nose, obviously, as you can see, with some ring and groove, and then you've got these wide kind of rings with the archways cut into it, and I'm not sure, yeah, I'd say that one is slightly tapered, but I think the other ones are like flat and straight. But each one of these has got a single ring and a couple of grooves either side in between them, and then as you move along you've got, I would say, a normal ring and groove, but obviously with the blue painted groove, and then another wide band, and then it goes back to the single rings with 2 grooves either side, interspersed with the wide sections with the archways cut into it, and that's pretty much the end of the barrel. And that end part mirrors the front with the thin ring and groove. So there you go, that's the super close look at the Cuesoul Jiho S1 darts. The darts fit with a black coat, 27mm point. There's a taped nose with the ring and groove grip, 8.5mm. Then you've got a wide band with that kind of arch grip, that's 4.5mm. And then some painted ring and groove, the two wide bands with the arch grip and a thin ring and groove, that's 11.5mm. Around the midsection, kind of a double ring grip with the blue painted groove, two grooves either side, 4.5mm. There's a lot of grooves on this, it's very groovy. And then on the rear, it's kind of mirroring the front, but just a little bit longer section, 15mm, and then some thin ring and groove on the end, 7mm. Total length 51mm, width 6.5mm. 22.24 grams, 22.20 grams, and 22.18 grams. Full setup 23.65 grams. Here's the balance with nothing attached and with the supplied setup. And this is the balance with medium in between short nylon stems and standard flights. Grip is a little bit mixed along the barrel, but maybe at most just slightly above medium, so 5.5. Alright, I'll just have a few throws. I'll try throwing it from where the red ring and groove is first. Seemed a bit zippy through the air. Last one went quite nice. There's sections of it though where it's fairly grippy on some parts, but I think it's just down to the ring and groove sections and the way they kind of meet the arch kind of like milled sections. And obviously with it being new as well, the edges are probably more sharply defined. But not flying too bad from that position. It's probably a little bit further up to where I would naturally hold it, so just for the sake of trying it, seeing as I'm not going to be throwing it too much, I'll just try it from around the blue groove, so maybe just slightly past the middle. Yeah, I think maybe slightly past the mid there. I think it may be a nice one for mid and rear grippers because it kind of feels like the balance is a little bit more to the mid and the rear, probably because of the taper at the front. But again, just for the sake of trying it, I'll try it on the rear section. So I'm on the red ring and groove at the rear. Yeah, can do that one. I think I'll have one last go from the front. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to try it right on the nose this time, so I'm gripping it on the taper. Actually flies alright from there. But like I always say, I'm not always a fan of a taper just because it goes so thin, and I usually feel like I need to have something thicker to hold. But overall I think it's quite a nice barrel, and one that could possibly work for any, whether you're front, mid or rear. But I suspect mid and rear grippers might get the best of the balance, but the grip is a little bit mixed. You've got parts where it's kind of quite grippy and other parts where it's not so grippy, so it will depend on what you like and where your fingers sit on the dart. So if you like more grip and you on one of the grippier parts, then you'll be happy. But certainly not a bad price. I know a lot of the Cuesoul darts tend to be quite expensive, so, and the fact that you got some of the nice Ross T19 all-in-one stems and flights is a bit of a bonus. So there you go, that's the Cuesoul Jiho S1. So I'll leave you with the gallery so you can have a closer look at them, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy darting.